Call the meeting to order. Please stand for the flag salute. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Public notice of this meeting pursuant to the Open Public Meeting Act has been given in the following manner. By emailing written notice to the Courier Post and the retrospect on January 10, 2019. By posting written notice on the official bulletin board at the municipal building on January 10, 2019. By filing written notice with the clerk of the Borough of Woodlynne on January 10, 2019.
roll call.
Mr. Chouwaki?
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes?
Yes.
Ms. Torres?
Present.
Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Mrs. Feliciano?
Yes.
President Early?
Here.
Mayor Fuentes?
Here. At this point here, we start with a committee report. We start with Councilwoman Woodlynne Torres.
Good evening, Mayor,
Good evening.
Madam Clerk, Madam President, council members, and members of the public. My report is for the month of August. Calls for services from the police department was 432. Parking summons was 19. Moving violations 124. Adult arrests 19. Juvenile arrests 2. Driving under the influence arrests 2. Borough ordinance 12. Uniform crime report is as follows. Robbery, 0. Aggravated assault, 1. Simple assault, 5. Theft, 15. Burglary, 6. Disorderly conduct, 2. Drug offenses, 2. Motor vehicle theft. That's my report for the month of August, respectfully submitted by Edwin Figueroa, Director of Public Safety.
Well, you heard the report of public safety. Can I get a motion second to receive and file?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Chouwaki, second by Councilman Fuentes. Any question? Full vote.
Mr. Chouwaki?
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes?
Yes.
Ms. Torres?
Yes.
Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Mrs. Feliciano?
Yes.
President Early?
Yes.
All yes. At this point now, we move to public building. Councilman Cook.
Good evening, Mayor, Madam Secretary, fellow council members, and to our residents. My report for the month of July and August 2019. For the month of July, we received a total of $460. We had a $100 rental from Joseph Chouwaki, $150 rental received from Austin Taiki, and a deposit from Jerry Fuentes for $60. We also have $150 received from Marisol Lopez for a deposit as well for the month of August. The month of August, I have no rentals that is listed as per the report that was submitted to me by Joanne Harper, and that's my report for the month of July and August.
Well, you heard the report of buildings and property. Can I get a motion second to receive and file?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Chouwaki,
Second.
second by Councilman Fuentes. Any question? Full vote.
Mr. Chouwaki?
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes? Ms. Torres?
Yes.
Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Mrs. Feliciano?
Yes.
President Early?
Yes.
Oh, yes. At this point now, we move forward with the finance report. Councilman Fuentes. I know you're going to have the council president read. Go ahead.
For Councilman Fuentes. Good evening, members of the council, mayor and clerk, members of the public. This is the Borough of Woodlynne Municipal Court revenue for August of 2019. With the borough, we had $3,113.08. For the county, it was $1,003.50. State was $1,455.13. Restitution of $50. Total revenues for the court was $5,621.71. That concludes the report for the month of August 2019.
You heard the report of finance. Can I get a motion second to receive and file?
Motion.
Motion by Councilwoman Feliciano, second by Councilwoman Torres. Any question? Full vote.
Mr. Chouwaki?
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes?
Yes.
Ms. Torres?
Yes.
Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Mrs. Feliciano?
Yes.
President Early?
Yes.
Oh, yes. At this point now, we move forward, emergency management, Councilman Chouwaki.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Madam Clerk. Council President, member of the council, and member of our community. As you all aware that my July report was on suspension because of lack of our county report from July. Therefore, I'll start giving the July report. Calls on June, we have a total call of 65, fire call 17, EMS is 53. However, in July, we have 78 calls, and fire call is 19, and EMC call is 59. Therefore, we have an increase in volume with 10. The overall percentage increase is 16.67 increase per the call volume in comparison from July to June of this year. Highest call within the county is Camden City with a volume call of 3,500, and the lowest call in the county is Pine Valley with a volume call of 2, and Woodlynne is coming up 78. However, the overall call from the highest to the least Woodlynne came between them as 77% of the volume of the call. That is the overall report for the July emergency management report. However, I'll be jumping into the August. Again, the call from August, the call from July is overall is 78 calls. EMS is 59, fire call is 19. But the month of August is 49 overall calls. EMS is 41, fire call is 8. We have a decrease in volume, minus 29, and the overall is minus 37%. We also have a decrease in the highest call in the county, which is 3,242. However, a little spike on the list call in the county as 5, and Woodlynne come in 49. All the reports on the emergency management is, I believe, earlier this month we lost one of our fire members who was involved in an accident. However, he helped us a little bit in the town before he moved out with his family and started helping another fire station where he was involved in an accident going to drop off his kid to school and had an on-head collision. And numerous number of our members attended the funeral. And also, starting from tomorrow, the guys will be heading out to the fire convention. That will be for 2 days, tomorrow and Saturday. This is the end of my report for July and August 2019. Thank you.
You heard the report of emergency management. Can I get a motion second to receive and file? Motion by Cook. Second by Councilwoman Feliciano. If we could just take a moment of silence for our former firefighter. Thank you. At this point now, we move forward with public affairs. Councilwoman Feliciano. I'm sorry, full vote?
Mr. Chouwaki?
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes?
Yes.
Ms. Torres?
Yes.
Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Mrs. Feliciano? Yes. President Early?
Yes.
Oh, yes. At this point now, we start with public affairs and recreation. Councilwoman Feliciano.
Good evening, Mayor,
Good evening.
council, Madam Clerk, Madam Council President, our public. Just wanted to thank everyone that was involved in our very successful back-to-school party for our children and our residents in Woodlynne. This event took place Saturday, August 31st from 12 to 2. It was an event that we were able to supply our children and residents with book bags for school as they were approaching the school period, and also some school supplies. At attendance, we had one of our officers, Officer Great, who was a part of the Camden County Police Department. Her and the staff, and also that Deputy Sheriff Gilbert Wilson was also in attendance, along with our Woodland Police Department, our Public Works, the mayor, other council members. We also want to say a special thank you to those that assisted at that event. We had DJ Ben that was in attendance, who was able to provide the music and entertainment for our children. We also had a photo booth, so a lot of our residents were able to enjoy having a back-to-school photo with their family, showcasing their book bags and supplies. And that was really a great event for our children. I believe it was really great for our community as we came together during that day. Also, earlier that day, we had a yard sale. I don't know if anyone had participated in the yard sale or came out and were able to walk along Woodland Avenue and throughout the neighborhood to see others that were selling their items through that yard sale. I understand that that was a very successful event as well. We're probably looking to have that again in the future, probably in the next future month or so. So I want to definitely thank everyone that was involved, Public Works, if I missed anyone. I'm sorry, Fire Department, I apologize. They were also able to provide some entertainment to our children because it was a very hot day. So I appreciate everyone that came out. So it was a really great day. The kids, and I believe everyone was really satisfied and happy to see such camaraderie in our community. As we move forward, we're looking to have other events. We're probably going to have another trunk or treat for our children. Last year, due to the weather, we were inside at the log cabin, but hopefully if the weather permits, we'll be able to be outside. So we're going to be looking for those of you that are interested to get in contact with with Cheryl. As we provide more dates or any further information about the trunk or treat. And this is my report for the month of August.
Well, you heard the report of Public Affairs and Recreation. Can I get a motion second to receive and file?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Fuentes, second by Councilman Chouwaki. Any question? Full vote?
Mr. Chouwaki?
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes?
Yes.
Ms. Torres?
Yes.
Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Mrs. Feliciano?
Yes.
President Early?
Yes.
All yes. At this point now, we move with Public Works, DPW, Council President Early.
Good evening, Mayor, Madam Clerk, members of council, members of the public. This is the monthly report for the month of August for recycling. Week number 1, we had 10,640 pounds, or 5.32 tons. Week number 2, 6,980 pounds, or 3.49 tons. Week number 3, 5,340 pounds, or 2.67 tons. Week number 4, 8,840 pounds, or 4.42 tons. Total recycling was 31,800 pounds, or 15.90 tons. Trash, week number 1, 60,320 pounds, or 30.16 tons. Week number 2, 51,500 pounds, 25.75 tons. Week number 3, 43,200 pounds, or 21.60 tons. Week number 4, 49,640 pounds, or 24.82 tons. Total trash, 204,660 pounds, or 102.33 tons. Yard waste, week number 1, 20.5 yards. Week number 2, 19. Week number 3, 19. Week number 4, 13, and week number 5, 14. Total yard waste was 85.5 yards. This was respectfully submitted by Robert Kenny. That concludes my report for the month of August.
You have the report of Public Work DPW. Can I get a motion second to receive and file? Motion by Councilwoman Feliciano, second by Councilman Chouwaki. Any question? Full vote?
Mr. Chouwaki?
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes? Ms. Torres?
Yes.
Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Mrs. Feliciano?
Yes.
President Early?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Ordinance 2019-12, this is an introduction only, by title only. The ordinance of the Borough of Woodlynne, County of Camden, State of New Jersey, authorizing the public sale of Block 502, Lot 4, Block 502, Lot 5, Block 503, Lot 38 and 1, and Block 302, Lot 10, Borough of Woodlynne, County of Camden, State of New Jersey, at the open public sale pursuant to NJSA 40A-12-1. Can I get a motion second?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Chouwaki,
Second.
second by Council President Early. Any question? Full vote?
Mr. Chouwaki?
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes?
Yes.
Ms. Torres? Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Mrs. Feliciano?
Yes.
President Early?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Resolution 2019-61, a resolution of the Borough of Woodlynne, County of Camden, State of New Jersey for emergency appropriation. Can I get a motion second?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Chouwaki, second by Councilwoman Feliciano. Any question? Full vote?
Mr. Chouwaki?
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes? Ms. Torres?
Yes.
Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Mrs. Feliciano?
Yes.
President Early?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Resolution 2019-62, a resolution of the Borough of Woodlynne approving the widow of a vet deduction. Can I get a motion second? Motion by Councilwoman Feliciano, second by Council President Early. Any question? Full vote?
Mr. Chouwaki?
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes? Ms. Torres?
Yes.
Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Mrs. Feliciano? President Early?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Resolution 2019-63, a resolution of the Borough of Woodlynne, County of Camden, State of New Jersey, authorizing an amendment to the Resolution 2013-56, thereby amending the appointment term and tenure of Daniel J. Gotti as tax assessor. Can I get a motion second? Motion by Councilman Fuentes, second by Council President Early. Any question?
Yes. I'm asking if the council could table this until we can have further discussions, allowing us to review the resolution a little bit more further before making a final decision.
Right now, the motion is on the table. You're asking for a motion to table this. If I get a motion second, then it gets tabled. If it doesn't, we pursue with the vote. Not hearing none, it dies. Motion to continue with the vote.
Mr.
So your vote would be abstain or no or yes?
No.
Okay.
Mr. Chouwaki?
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes?
Yes.
Ms. Torres?
Yes.
Ms. Feliciano? President Early?
Yes.
5 yes, 1 no. Resolution 2019-64, a resolution of the Borough of Woodlynne, County of Camden, State of New Jersey for awarding the contract to Lambert Construction LLC for reconstruction of Chestnut Avenue and Linden Avenue in the amount of $237,460.20. Can I get a motion second? Motion by Councilwoman
Second.
second by Councilman Chouwaki. Any question?
Is the whole Lincoln Avenue or section?
There's the section, it's all in the paragraph when you go with the question. Any other question? Full vote?
Mr. Chouwaki?
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes?
Yes.
Ms. Torres? Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Mrs. Feliciano? President Early?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Resolution 2019-65, a resolution of the Borough of Woodlynne, County of Camden, State of New Jersey for awarding the contract to American Asphalt of resurfacing of Cooper Avenue in the amount of $44,923.20. Can I get a motion second?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Chouwaki, second by Councilman Fuentes. Any question? Full vote?
Mr. Chouwaki?
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes? Ms. Torres?
Yes.
Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Mrs. Feliciano? President Early.
Yes.
All yes. Resolution 2019-66, a resolution of the Borough of Woodlynne, County of Kansas, State of New Jersey, authorizing LeVar Edwards to stage a book box in front of the log cabin. Can I get a motion second?
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Chouwaki, second by Councilwoman Feliciano. On the question? Full vote?
Mr. Chouwaki?
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes? Ms. Torres?
Yes.
Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Mrs. Feliciano?
Yes.
President Early.
Yes.
All yes. Resolution 2019-66, a resolution of the Borough, I'm sorry. It's not in the package, but everybody did get the resolution 2019-67. Just to make one correction, it is 39,900, okay? Resolution 2019-67, awarding the demolition 106 Chestnut to William Hargrove for the amount of $39,900. Can I get a motion second? Motion by Councilman Feliciano, second by Councilman Fuentes. Any question?
Do we have the numbers for the other bids?
Yes. Question? Any other question? Full vote?
Mr. Chouwaki?
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes? Ms. Torres?
Yes.
Mr. Cook?
Yeah.
Mrs. Feliciano?
Yes.
President Early.
Yes.
All yes. At this point here also, I have a former councilman that had lost his son, is requesting to use the hall for an event to host for the family and friends, because of local friends and family. He is no longer a resident here, but he had actually, the request from council, allowing him to use the hall for the event, for an event for their son that passed away. So, it's up to council. So I ask for a motion second.
Motion.
Motion by Council President Early,
Second.
second by Councilwoman Torres. Any question? Full vote?
Mr. Chouwaki?
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes?
Yes.
Ms. Torres?
Yes.
Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Mrs. Feliciano?
Yes.
President Early.
Yes.
All yes. At this point here, can I get a motion to approve the bills? Motion by Councilman Chouwaki, second by Councilwoman Feliciano. Any question? Full vote?
1 second, please. Mr. Chouwaki?
Yes.
Mr. Fuentes? Ms. Torres?
Yes.
Mr. Cook?
Yes.
Mrs. Feliciano?
Yes.
President Early.
Yes.
All yes. At this point, any other new business? So I'd like to say that, working with the county open space grant, we were awarded another $25,000 to do an exercise equipment stage area, so we will be working on that. We've been very successful with the open space grant, so we just got awarded $25,000. As we mentioned, for the soccer field, which that's on the way on construction, and we just received another $25,000 to put in exercise equipment, and that will be going towards where the track field is at. So, it'll be good, just this way here, we can have a place where people can start to work out. So I'm excited, looking forward to it. So, just happy to see that we got another grant. Any other question, anything else? At this point now, I do open it up to the public. Please state your name and your address.
Hello, good evening. Elizabeth Huerta, our property 106 Maple Avenue, lot 26, block 103. I'm kind of at loss with the whole procedure for the borough. Been trying to get a permit for a fence since May. I did what every resident would do, touch bases with the borough. I was given the information by Cheryl and the mayor. I sent everything that was placed in the application. I was then later informed that I was missing the Camden site of my property, since I'm on Ferry and then Camden is a cemetery. So I was told I had to do everything again. So I went out of pocket again to do the whole application, to send certified mail again. I got a letter from the engineer stating that more information was needed for my assessment of the application. I was in contact with him through 17 emails back and forth for 15 days. On Friday, August 30th at 3:45, I received a call from the board attorney for a meeting that I have scheduled to get the application, drop out the information, and come up on the board. Even it was set up for September 4th, August 30th, a weekend before Labor Day, he calls me at 3:45 saying, I wanted you to make sure you had the engineer report so you wouldn't get bombarded with the information. It's like, wait a minute, I'm like, you haven't even received my petition, my application, none of my information? He goes, I just wanted to make you aware that there's no appeal for wherever the decision comes out of it. At this point, I was like, I can basically then say that you're denying it already without any information given to you. He then stated, I stated to him I would reschedule since I was still working with information that the engineer was asking for me. I continued this going back and forth with the engineer on September 10th, which was this past Monday. He sent me a final email after I had sent him all the information from the tax assessors, from the Borough tax assessor's office information, from the map, from everything, stating my property and everything. He sent me an email stating it's not an engineer matter no more. Now it's a legal matter that I would have to get in contact with the attorney of the borough to deal with him. Even before I do any application, even before I turn in anything to the board. At this point, they set me up for an October 2nd appointment that I not received notice or anything. Nobody made me aware. That Monday when I came to the borough, the mayor pointed it out that it was already on the board. I told the mayor, who contacted me? Since the mayor already had my email, the township has my email, my phone number, everything, I never received the notice of this application. If I'm going to have to do everything again, it would have to get rescheduled, which I'm gonna get out of pocket to get an attorney to review this information. Information the borough should already have. I don't have to go again out of pocket for a fourth time to try to get just a fence permit. It's not doing it to bug my neighbors. I'm not doing it to just be against my neighbor. I'm doing it for a safety issue. I have 8 police reports from my house, that Ferry Avenue, with people coming from the cemetery, druggies. I had people knocking on my doors trying to burglarize my house with my child upstairs hearing that. I had that same Monday, a man come into my property peeing in my backyard with my 7-year-old witnessing all that stuff. I don't know what else to do. I'm at lost end just to get a simple permit for a fence for safety issues.
Okay. I know you and I spoke, and it was posted on the board, and therefore no out-of-pocket will go for you to have to advertise. That was said there. Now, that being said, I told you I was going to contact the engineer to find out what's going on. What's happening with the engineer, it's not clear about the open driveway that they're saying it's a private driveway that is supposed to be a common driveway. I told him that that's something that the borough doesn't get involved with, but he's going to send me the documents, so on Monday I will have it. We will still have the meeting on October, so therefore we can discuss more detail, but like I said, at this point here, where the concern is the driveway. Is it an open easement driveway or is it not? And that's where the determination has to be looked at. That's why I guess when he said it would be looking as a civil matter towards individual closing it off.
My whole question is, why was I not notified of any October 2nd? I was not until you guys are assuming this is, I am still working with the engineer at the time.
The attorney was supposed to forward that to you. Why he didn't, I have not been in contact. I can reach out to the attorney tomorrow and find out why you weren't notified.
Why would the attorney be involved right now if I haven't dropped all the information yet to you guys?
All he said, he was postponing it to October 4th. You were having a meeting for September, so therefore no out-of-pocket comes out of your pocket. He was rescheduling it for the October
If
meeting.
the engineer is telling me that it's a legal matter, which means that I have to get a lawyer involved in this, that means out-of-pocket for me.
Well,
How would give
again,
me enough time to do that
I have
again?
not had a chance to talk to the engineer, and most likely, I hear you, but this is more of a planning board matter where you can come in and discuss with the planning board because council does not have a say or vote on it. But like I said to you, I found out about it, it got posted, you came into the office, I explained to you that They are waiting on other information. I provided you documents that we found from our record file. We provided it to you. And again, it's just a matter where the engineer is looking to see if this is a matter of it is a private driveway or if it's an open driveway for an easement to allow for other people to move in and out. That's the determination right now that's being up in the air, that's not certain.
In
So,
the first paperwork sent, in the first paperwork sent, Cheryl was the contact person. When I went on Monday, you stated she was not in that position no more. Who do I contact now in the borough for to do
you can
this?
still contact Cheryl. You can still contact Cheryl.
You stated she was not the
She
secretary.
is not the secretary, but you can still contact Cheryl.
Her, again,
Cheryl,
inconsistency, every time I go in there.
You just asking who do you call? And Cheryl will forward that information.
You told me she was not in that position no more.
1 second, understand. She is not the secretary, but you can still forward the information and she will forward that over.
I don't know how the borough is running the borough. This is like since May I've been trying to do that. I've been trying to do everything the right way.
But
I got
understand,
in
let's
contact
go
with
back
you
a
guys.
little
I did
bit.
everything.
Let's go back a little bit, Elizabeth, because in the letter, it did state that you had to notify Camden and you failed to do that. So therefore, you
What
had
letter
to in the letter
She never
that
told me.
Mr.
When I went over there, I
Dan
asked you
Gotti.
specifically. I asked you guys specifically, what do I need to
Dan
do?
Gotti put it in the letter, Dan gave you on the breakdown on the address. There might be some certain problem, I showed you that, Elizabeth, on the paperwork, it did say.
Why wouldn't I not do that if I was going and touching bases with the borough from the
Elizabeth, it was in the-
beginning
it was in
and
the
doing
paper-
everything proper right?
It was
I
in the
told you from the
paperwork.
beginning, I had no issues in doing it
Elizabeth,
right.
it was in your paperwork.
It was not.
I showed it to you,
And I'm
Elizabeth.
requesting from now on, anything from the borough be sent to me by mail to my house or by my email. I'm not going by what you say no more, because every time I talk to you or talk to somebody in the borough, it's always something different.
Okay,
I'm trying to
thank you.
do the right thing, and it's always something different that you tell me, and then you forget what you tell me, or something else that I forget.
I forget what I
I
tell
want
you,
it
Elizabeth.
official in
I forget what
paperwork.
I tell you, what did
I want it
forget?
officially in
What did I-
paperwork
what
from
did
now
I
on.
forget?
If I'm gonna have to get legal assistance to take care of this matter, I want any paperwork from the borough in writing. Not he said, she said, or whatever. I don't want nobody coming to my property either, to coming over here talking to me, knocking on my door, or coming in the back of my yard also, or talking to my family members or anything like that concerning this matter. If it's a legal matter, I want everything in writing, because apparently the borough doesn't do anything right. I'm gonna have to go out of pocket and get a lawyer to get this resolved. And it's gonna cost me more than 3 Gs. All because I wanted to do the right stuff from the beginning for the safety of my kids. But apparently the borough don't give a shit about that. Don't give a shit about that, me trying to do everything right. No, I've been trying to do this since May. I work with Gloucester Township. They do everything right. They have everything set up. I go in there to their hall. They give me all the information that I need for any issues on the properties that I manage over there in Blackwood. With here, it's always he said, she said, and when the end of the day comes, oh, we didn't say this, we didn't do that, we didn't give you this information. All paperwork you send me, send it through my mail. I want paperwork from it. This is ridiculous.
Not a problem. Thank you. We will provide you with the paperwork. Anyone else?
Yeah, Jeff Goodwin, 315 Cypress. I do want to, not to pile on, Elizabeth, but one of the things the mayor said is the planning board, as far as I know, is not taking jurisdiction. So if there's a new meeting, you are going to have to notice your neighbors legally, again. Until the planning board takes jurisdiction, you're going to have that expense.
Excuse me, Jeff, you got to direct here. This is not about, you can direct that later.
Okay, well,
And
I was just trying to be helpful, because I don't want her to take your legal advice on that.
Excuse me, I'm going through our legal attorney. You're not the attorney here, okay? You don't represent the borough.
I'm not saying I
Okay?
do, I'm
So
just
let's
trying to
not
be
give-
helpful, because
let's
I heard
not
something that
mislead-
isn't accurate.
Let us not
I just
mislead.
wanted to clear it
I'm
up.
going according to what the attorney said. Thank you.
Okay. All right, let's start with the borough website and the fact that the budget is still not on the borough website. Why can't that happen? It's the New Jersey law.
Hey, what
I've been
else?
asking for like
What
4 or
else,
5
Jeff?
months.
What else? I'm not going to answer.
No, I want to know.
I'm not going to answer. Okay, go on.
Can I ask the council
No,
members,
I run
is
the
it
meeting.
acceptable to
Excuse me,
you
Jeff.
to ignore New Jersey
Excuse
law?
me, Jeff. I run the meeting. You address me.
It's
and
a
I-
council meeting and it's a
And I
public
address the
portion.
meeting. If you continue, I will have to have you to excuse and move from the building.
Yeah, I'm sure you would like that.
Okay.
But I want to
Let's
know
move
whether
next.
it's acceptable
Next.
that we ignore
The
New
next
Jersey
question.
law.
The next question.
What other New Jersey laws are we ignoring, Mayor?
Next question.
I just asked one. What
Next
other law?
question.
Okay, what about the master plan? Another
Next-
New Jersey law we're
Next
ignoring.
question.
If it's not answered from the
I would
question,
like to answer his question.
Wait, we can't.
I run the meeting, excuse me. Next question.
We are members of
Excuse
council.
me,
I would like to
excuse me.
answer his
Does the
question.
council need to be here, or can you just answer everything?
Next question, you can address it at your time. Next question.
it's not answered for no questions, it's no, it's no
Excuse
sense
me,
as a question.
please, let's have a civil.
That's right.
My own face.
The intersections at Woodlynne and Parker and Woodlynne and Powelton, what's going on with that?
The engineer has been notified, he's looking into a solution.
He is. Mr. Chouwaki gave a solution 3 meetings ago.
The engineer is coming in with something else also. Thank you. Next.
What?
Next.
Mayor, you are
Next.
This
right.
is so rude.
I want the public to see the way this borough is being run, please.
Go ahead.
What about the intersection of Front Street at Evergreen? There was conversation, again, about 4 months ago, about all the people running that stop sign. What has happened with that? Now, the school's open, and it's a block away from the school.
And I think the lieutenant has been addressed with that, and he's addressing the matter.
In what way?
You can speak to the lieutenant after the meeting.
So you don't know, the council doesn't know, it's just like, after 4 months, it's
No.
just like,
I would like to know,
You
Mayor.
can address that later after the meeting.
I would like to
And you
know.
can discuss that later.
Excuse me.
Excuse
We
me,
are
I'm
part
running
of
the meeting,
governing
and you
body.
will have your, I'm letting
Mayor,
Mr. Goodwin
We
speak
are
now.
entitled to
Excuse me,
listen.
excuse me, we are listening. That's what we're doing
I
now.
would like to hear
We're
his
listening.
answer.
I had suggested, it's gotta be 3 months ago now, that a stop bar be placed and a crosswalk be put in place, using paint to help make that intersection safer, and in 3 months, you can't get a coat of paint on the street.
Okay, next.
If the public likes what they're hearing, then let's keep this guy as the administrator in January. The bid that was just done for Hargrove, what was the process in terms of procuring bids for that?
We ran out to try to get some pricing for that.
Was that notified, or did it follow the New Jersey DCA procurement
It
laws?
followed the law according to the borough engineer and the attorney.
So the borough engineer was the one who solicited the bids?
This borough engineer and the auditor suggested that we go get quotes. That's it, that's all we are required to do.
So let me ask the question again. So the borough engineer was the one who solicited the
No,
bids?
no, we went out in pursuit to get some quotes.
Who's we?
Myself, the borough did.
Okay, so you solicited the bids from contractors?
Yeah.
Was there any notice published in the newspaper?
It's not needed to, it's an emergency takedown.
Doesn't the council have to approve it as an emergency? You just can't,
We just did it.
unilaterally, no, they
We
didn't.
just did it, the resolution.
I'm sorry, I have it right here. I don't see the word emergency anywhere in there, Mayor.
2019-61 for the emergency appropriation. Thank you. Next.
No, it's not the appropriation that's the
Let's move
emergency.
forward. Let's move
It's
forward.
not the.
Let's move
it's-
forward.
you're-
Your next
You are
question.
not following the
Your
law
next
again.
question. Your next
You are
question.
not
Your next
following New
question.
Jersey
You're not my
law.
attorney. Your next question.
Wow, this is pretty good use of my time coming here tonight. We had discussed before that you were going to reach out to the county to discuss the equalization rate, and you were much too busy in prior meetings to do that. In the last month, have you had time to make a phone call, Mayor?
And let me tell you, I have spoken to some freeholders, and I can say to you, at this point here, we're going to sit down, revive, and see what we can do. Thank you. Next question.
Okay, which freeholders did you
What
speak
next
to?
question?
No,
Your next question.
just like somebody
Your
mentioned,
next-
I
your next
think the
question,
more
Jeff.
information the public
Jeff,
has, the
your
better.
next question.
I'm asking,
Your ne-
my
I'm
next
not-
question is what
What
freeholders did
next
you speak
question?
with?
Next.
What freeholders did you
I'm
speak
not
with?
going to talk to you on this, because I'm not playing your political game.
It's
Go
not,
ahead.
man,
It
it's
is,
not
Jeff.
political game,
It
it's
is,
a
Jeff.
question.
Continue to move forward,
It's a
Jeff.
question.
Next, Jeff.
It's a
Next, Jeff.
What freeholder did you
Next,
talk to?
Jeff.
I don't believe you talked to
Next.
any freeholder.
Next, Jeff.
When you, the meeting was like this, I wouldn't even came.
What about the borough clerk? What's the process to get a borough clerk?
We were looking at the matter, or sitting down and looking for a work when we advertised for the position.
Wouldn't that have been a great?
Right now is the time to save some money. Cheryl's doing the job, I'm helping out, so we're saving money. We're saving taxpayer money.
What does New Jersey law say about having a borough clerk?
We are allowed to still have it open. It's still open, 3-month opens, okay? Thank you.
3-month open.
Yes.
So when When did the previous borough clerk resign?
July,
How come his resignation letter's from March?
because he decided to stay on and wait till the budget and wait till the moving process.
Well, I would love to get proof of that
Well, you
somewhere.
can call him, how's that?
I don't know him, I don't have to call him.
Okay,
Where does the borough stand in terms of the codification of their ordinances?
it is in the process, we got all approved, we have it, and it's waiting for it to be codified and modified and sent over.
So has the council seen that?
We're waiting for it, we haven't got it. When we voted on this, it was last year, and they say it takes about 2 years. Okay, if you know the process, it takes about 2 years. Because
So
the last time we did it, it took about 2 years.
So who's doing that?
This is done, I can't tell you the name, it's the same person that did it last time. The company, they're well known in the state to do it.
So it takes 2 years?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, that's about as long as it takes to do an examination of a burnout building. I want to get back again to the website. Public Works did have the website updated because the borough has an updated stormwater management plan. Are you aware of that?
Yes.
Why did the borough do an updated stormwater management plan?
Rob Kenny, he sat down, talked with the people in the state, and we did his.
Did the borough receive any kind of violation notice from the state?
It was just wasn't a sort of a violation, it was told that they needed to put it up and update it, that's all.
Because when I requested, I put in an OPA request.
Oh, I know your open request, I know that.
Yeah, and the OPA request gave me a bunch of information, but somehow they didn't give me the same information that I got from DEP from the same OPA request.
Okay, well, you can share that with us if you'd like to.
Well, I will send an email out to all of you and put it on the Woodlynne United
Very
webpage
good.
as well.
Okay.
But again, there's a pattern here of I'll just use the word deceit in my view.
That's a strong word there, but go ahead.
Well, it is a strong word,
It
but
is a strong
unfortunately,
word, but you know what, you're playing your political game.
I'm
Let's
not
go
playing
ahead.
a political
Go ahead,
game.
Jeff, I want to entertain you a little bit more before we continue.
well, I just want to know why, when I put in an OPA request, I'm not getting the full information.
You are getting every information. You got everything with the attorney and what was submitted to you from the borough.
If I may again, Elizabeth Huerta again, 106 Maple.
Yes.
If you're saying that the ordinance is gonna take you 2 years, it might
It's
matter.
not the ordinance.
No.
It's
The codes, whatever the
it's
rules?
No.
What is
It's-
it then?
What it is just updating and modifying all the ordinance. That's all it is. It's just an update.
So where
It's
can
the
we
same-
get an update? We're never gonna be able to, in my case, my fence, how do I know what I'm doing the right thing or not? Or just should I go again by what you're telling me again and then change it at the last minute?
The fence has nothing to do with the ordinance.
Well, it doesn't.
No, because it is part of the planning board. That is separate. It's from the planning board. Your fence thing is all about, everything you're talking about has to do with the planning board, not with.
So the planning board is gonna decide what is 4, 3, 4, 6 foot privacy fence, not you guys.
No, not us, no.
So when I got a tax increase, this past time when I got a tax increase for the use of my property because it was a block corner and it's a bigger lot, it wasn't taken into consideration that I can't use half of the property now because a portion is gonna be taken
That's the
away.
way it's assessed and that's the way it's laid out. This
So
is,
if you knew the assessment before then, apparently because a tax increase was done in my property,
you know
a
the
tax
assessment.
increase was done.
You get an assessment card every year.
I assume, it doesn't say that a portion of my property was gonna be taken for a so-called easement that has not been proven there. I got the increase, I'm doing it, I was like, okay, the increase is there, I'll do it, my portion of the lot is bigger, I can see here from the tax assessor my property line, now it's saying a portion is gonna be taken away from me, from my property, which I have a tax increase, then I'm paying for the full, and I can't even use a portion of my property after the tax assessment was done, as you said?
Elizabeth, I will say to you, what you're discussing is all planning board related matter.
It's tax
You're
borough
talking
information, it's not planning board.
This
Planning
is
board is
not-
the fence that you told me right now.
And your
This is a
tax
tax
assess-
increase that you guys gave me
No, it's
for
not
a
a
portion
tax
of my
increase. We
property
didn't
because
give
it's
you-
a corner and it's
You
bigger.
would
Now you're changing the story.
No,
Now
I'm
it's
not.
in
Two different things, Elizabeth.
It's
This is
not.
the tax assessor, you were discussing with.
Who gives the taxes on the property size, on the location, on what it is, the
You
measurements?
were me with Dan Galley on Tuesday from 4:45 to 5:45.
That's not accessible for me.
I'm sorry, that's the only day he's available.
Well, he needs to be available in business hours. Those are not business hours.
These are the
Again,
hours
you're
that-
doing your own rules. You're doing
This is
accommodating
not my
for your
rules.
own progress.
The-
It's no point. For real, there's no point. Why the hell do I even come to these? There's no point. You doing whatever you want. The borough wants to do whatever you want. There's no paperwork trail. There's nothing. Every time I come, you want to change the story.
We don't
Everything,
change
oh,
the
you gotta
story.
talk to this person. Oh, don't talk to me. That's not me. Talk to this person. Talk to that person. Oh, they're not involved.
Goes
No,
to- it
they're
goes
not
to
the
the-
secretary. It's the
It
same
goes-
thing.
It goes to the
What
attorney.
kind of borough is this?
It goes
Are you
to,
for
it's
real?
like every other borough. It's like every borough across the.
No, it's not. It's not like every other borough.
It
I
is.
work with another borough.
I
I work with
understand what
Gloucester
you work with,
Township.
but
They
you
have
have-
everything in writing.
you
They
have-
have everything on their website. They have
You will-
information for any
you
resident
will
that wants
have-
to speak to the
you will
mayor
have your
and give them
letter-
accurate information.
Elizabeth, you will have.
Not whatever you think is right,
Elizabeth.
whatever you think is to your benefit.
Elizabeth, you will have your letter in the mail from the attorney and the engineer, okay? Mr. William, yes.
Kelly, I'm putting your fence back all the way back, because they're gonna have my house
Yes.
tomorrow.
Council,
And I paid for it.
my name is Billy Williams, I live at 136 Elm Avenue. This is my first time attending one of these meetings. I have never been in a meeting that was so out of order, very unprofessional. I think that we need to get this stuff together. People have a right to ask questions. If it comes up to the council and it's something that has not been discussed, then the council need to take it back, take a look at it. They have an opinion made up on it, then it come back. But I see so much thing going on in here that's out of order. And if I was in charge of this meeting, it wouldn't happen. Because I'll put you out. You do not hold meetings like that. I come here to hear something that's gonna be good for Woodlynne. I've been here since 1990. I've seen this whole neighborhood go down the tubes. That all kind of people come into the neighborhood. They have all kind of issues that's going on. I want to hear something that's productive, that's going to benefit the whole neighborhood so that we can live better as residents of this neighborhood. All this out of order behavior, to me, is very unproductive. This will be my last meeting. I will not come back in this like this.
That's pretty much everybody.
This is crazy.
I want to say something positive. My name is Woodlynne.net. I live in 4th and Evergreen. I just want to say, hands down to the police officers. They're doing an amazing job. Never had a problem with them ever since they've been here.
Thank you, thank you. I want to address something real quick. Let's bring something back. And for those that say why I don't answer, because it's becoming a play game since June primary election. When we are a small staff, small town, and we watch every nickel and dime that's being spent for the taxpayer, and you have someone to come into these meetings and want to continue and dag and dag and dag on stuff that is pointless, stuff that is not meaningful, stuff that they can get more things accomplished and things that can get done and work for the progress of this community. When we're hit with over requests by Mr. Goodwin, it ties up the clerk, it ties up my time, it ties up Cheryl's time, and the taxpayer. I'm all for open transparency, believe me. But I will say something. When you are there tying up the taxpayer money, and Mr. Goodwin, you're not even a taxpayer, to say you're not even a taxpayer, because as I look at it, 315 Cypress Avenue is not on your name, so legally, you are not a taxpayer.
My wife, Mayor.
Well, listen,
Mayor,
listen,
I am a taxpayer. I will be joining Mr. Goodman with any
That's fine.
campaign he has
That's
to
fine.
override anything he needs from my system. He can count on me. I am a taxpayer. I am a taxpayer.
Mayor, if the council president doesn't say it, I'm telling you, you're out of order, sir.
So therefore, what I'm saying is, we have more important stuff to do. And Mr. Goodwin, you can have a seat until I'm ready to call on you, please. So I will say that when we are working hard for the betterment of the community, and people are tying up this type of system to tie up the borough, it makes it upsetting and difficult to get the day-to-day job of operation done for the people of Woodlynne. So when documents are having to be pulled out, we answered them. And there are stuff that the attorney had clearly said that you need to be more specific with your detail. And then you threaten to sue. Well, Mr. Goodwin, I am not going to address your concerns anymore because you obviously want to do the threat of the suing. Then have your attorney reach out to our attorney and we can just go from there. Okay? Thank you.
Okay, I have one thing to say before everybody starts
You
speaking
had your
up here.
turn, and at this
Hold on.
time,
Oh, there's other people.
Hold on, sit down for just one moment, Kelly. Let me have a moment,
You're called
okay?
upon.
These are council meetings. This is not the Jeff and Jerry argument show. Please, if you two have a personal problem with one another, please take it outside of the meetings. I'm tired of these meetings getting led in these directions. We are trying to get things accomplished here. Not have you come up and grandstand, instead of standing up in front of your chair like most people do and ask your questions and sit down. Then get him agitated and have him come back at you. That is not what these meetings are for. If you have a personal problem, please take it up with him personally. Take it outside. Stand up like everybody else does, ask your questions, be done with it. Mayor, I would just like to respectfully request of you, please, let's keep this in check, keep tempers in check. I don't care who does or does not pay taxes here. He is entitled to ask questions.
I'm not questioning.
And he
I
does
said,
go on and on
I
a
have
little
no
bit, and
problem-
I
have
will
no
say that
problem
you
with the
do.
question.
And
I do
I don't
have a
have,
problem when
but-
you're tying up the system on your own political game to
the
gain
back
your
and
political
forth that
gain.
keeps occurring, every meeting that we have with this is getting to be over the top ridiculous. We would just like to accomplish something here, like to hear everybody's piece and move along. If we could have that, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah,
My name
wait a
is
minute.
Kelly Jankowski.
I did, not
Kelly,
yet.
can you give me a moment, please?
Sure.
I'm sorry. In addition to what's going on, when people get personal vendetta and they come to a meeting like this trying to address it in a place where actually you will not get a solution to your problem, and mixing two things together, oil and water, it
One
will
second. Take. Go ahead.
and mixing oil and water, which viscosity is quite different and cannot conjoin and make a solution to be solvable to your problem. I wish this lady was here to hear what I have to say. Unfortunately, she has left. She has a problem with planning board. And planning board have their own meeting, which is a different thing altogether from what we are doing right here. And they have a secretary, they have a lawyer, they have engineer, they have all these people. And also, they have members of our community that was also appointed to be on the planning board, who has the same situation as she may probably have, that have to ask the appropriate question to the lawyer, to the engineer, to know what's going on. Yes, she's frustrated, but guess what? She's complaining to the wrong group. And there is nothing we can do to help her out until she goes to that meeting and they start asking her questions. And that was the only way that can help her. Now she's gonna go back and maybe mess up what she has done before just to appease his or her neighbor because she didn't get an answer. I mean, we don't get reports of a planning board until the end of the year, and they tell us what they have in their plan. But we have individual community representative, I believe 2 or 3 members, who is in the planning board that can, sit down with her and talk whatever she wants to talk about. And also the secretary. What mayor can do is tell the secretary, make sure you send this to this lady. Or lawyer, what's going on? But there's nothing we can do from here. Zero. So please, When you get worked up and get angry and come to the meeting, we may or we may not help you depending on what your problem is. I'm done. Please, Kelly, go.
Hi, my name's Kelly Jankowski, 122 Maple Avenue, and I just want to address this because every time I come to the meeting, the mayor is also ignorant to me. And I don't think it's very nice and it's not polite for him to go around and tell people who pays their taxes, who don't pay taxes, because he knows that and he's the one who goes around. That's very unprofessional and I don't think it should be done. And Elizabeth had interactions with the mayor and was, when she applied for her permit, and that's why she's frustrated, because she was told what to do and she did it, and then they told her she had to go get permission from the graveyard to put a fence up.
Well, you know what?
Which that should have been done.
Let's speak for
again.
your
That's
matter.
her business.
Let's speak for your matter. Go ahead.
I'm saying, see, there you
No,
go
no.
again.
No, you're
Okay,
you're
and
speaking
Sharon,
for
earlier, I
someone
have a
else.
question for you. Since the mayor is stepping down in January as the full-time mayor and administrator, have you decided to make a resolution to hire administrator yet, or?
We have not as of yet.
When are you going to do that? Because you only got 3 months and January's here.
We do understand that, and we will start the process of it. There's no need to have it, start way ahead of time. We don't know.
It's
who's
only
gonna
3
win.
months. To hire somebody professional, it takes that much time.
I understand that, and it will be discussed thoroughly, and everybody
And
will
it takes
be
2
made aware
months
of
to
it.
get a resolution and get approval.
And it would be approved at the January meeting.
So you wait till January to approve it
To
before
appro-
you?
Yeah, we can't approve something preemptively, so yeah, it would be approved at the January meeting,
And so when would the new person start?
effective January to the
So
resolution.
you get it approved and all of a sudden you have a person?
What's that?
How are you going to get a person?
No.
Get the resolution approved.
It will follow
It
through
would
council.
follow
We have
through
a-
council,
we have a
just
work
like we
session
do
prior-
with all the
we have a
other-
work- We have a work session, then we have a council meeting, then we have a final meeting at the end of the month.
The
in
work
December.
sessions that keep getting canceled, that's where you do it at? You discuss it?
No, when we don't, when we cancel a meeting, there's no meeting, okay? So
Just
very
forget
clear,
it.
just very clear to that, okay? So we have a work session, we have a council meeting, and we'll have a last council meeting for final.
And are we going to
final-
increase patrols for all the people stealing things, or?
You can talk to Mr. Figueroa and the Lieutenant Robinson.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Yeah, Jeff, go to it again. Let me just address a couple of things. One of the reasons I come up here is because there's no microphone, and I want to make sure what I say gets on the record. In any other township, whether it's a planning board meeting or council meeting, there's a microphone for the public to speak into to make sure the record is clear. Woodlynne doesn't have that, so I come up here to make sure what I say gets on the record. That's why I come up here. I'm not coming up here to get in anybody's face. If there was a microphone out here, I would stand
Go
there and
ahead,
speak
Jeff,
into the
your
microphone.
point's made. Go ahead.
In terms of the OP request, the mayor, had, just like he did last meeting where the council member, he pulls out a tape out of his back pocket or whatever.
Jeff, address me. You're addressing me, not the public.
I'm
You
just
gotta address
speaking.
me. If you're gonna
I
address
can
the
address
council,
the-
you're addressing the governing body. Address us. Not go out there performing like this is your talk show.
Trying to address everyone.
Go ahead. You came to the council meeting to address us.
What you showed the public in your show, most of what was in there were copies, asking for copies of Woodlynne budgets, which should be on the borough website. Copies of Woodlynne audits, which should be on the borough website. So you're up there grandstanding, but what I'm asking for is for something that everybody should already have access to. And then you're gonna whine and complain like a...
And it's in the work. Excuse me? Excuse me?
Okay, I said it. You whined and complained because I was putting in too many
Why
hours.
complain? It's
That's
because
why
you're
I-
costing the borough taxpayers hundreds of dollars.
If you would put it on the borough website, we wouldn't have that
No,
problem.
Jeff, this is not what it's about, putting the website, because you could easily just say something else. But this is you, continue to move it forward.
Excuse me,
So-
can you ask your next question, please?
Well, I just wanted to reinforce what Council President said. I don't want this to digress like this, but I've been coming here for months and months talking about
Since
things
June, since June.
that should be, since
May,
May.
I'm sorry, May, yeah.
Talking about things like these traffic issues that should be easy.
But they're being addressed.
They're not.
Well, how can you
You're
say
giving
they're not?
lip service.
Jeff, you just said, Jeff, about, you know what? Let me go back real quick, Jeff. You just talked to Mr.
Yeah, I would love to hear what Mr. Chouwaki has to say.
One second. One thing I just said. Chouwaki came up with a solution. I met with the engineer, and the engineer is gonna propose something different that he thinks might be a better way to go about. So I'm waiting on that report, okay?
And also, in addition to that, Jeff, on the 1st Street and Evergreen. Okay, the police has been there, actually 2 police, every once in a while I drive there. Okay, 2 of them. And they be going on. And almost all the streets, they have been doing their visibility, make sure that they're being seen to watch people going back and forth. Okay, now you might see some more influx of vehicle coming to that street because of the construction going on Ferry Avenue because of the detour, which anybody in this, in Camden County can take a detour without communicating to the neighbors that this is what's happening, and there is no press release. Apparently, wherever you come and hit the detour, you just take the next open driveway, which becomes into our community. However, 2 days in a row, I have stopped by there and watched. Okay. And they still continue to make their presence. And at the same time, people who are driving there are no longer flying high. I've watched it personally for this past, I have a death in the family. I didn't go to work throughout this week. Every morning when I drop my kids off, I drive that way just to follow the same detour. I just parked and watch what's going on. So far, what I have seen, I haven't seen anybody running a stop sign, nor just speed up from there. And besides, I have seen the police officer, their visibility, 2 vehicle cruisers all going along throughout the whole community to make their presence.
I'm not blaming the police. And you as a traffic engineer, how hard is it to put a crosswalk in and a stop bar?
Jeff, you know what?
Because the police can't be there.
Jeff, something you can sit down with Councilman,
This is
discuss.
the 3rd month I brought it up, though. That's the point. That's why I get frustrated.
Jeff, you get frustrated easily, but I'll just say something to you, Jeff. Something you can discuss with him. I have more things to do. I have an award to give away. So again, can we just continue to move forward?
Well, I want to get...
You're going in circle.
I'm not going in circle.
You are, because you're bringing in the traffic thing over and over again. You're bringing up the website over and over again. This is stuff that it's been already told to you, and let's move forward.
Well, I want to reinforce what Councilwoman said, that we need to be more productive. We need to do things like get a borough master plan. We need to actually
And
get...
what did the engineer say?
He said we need to do it now. That's what he said.
He said we're gonna sit down and we don't have to redo the master plan. He said.
He did not.
He did not say we're gonna do the master plan.
That's not what we said.
He
What
did.
he said, no, he didn't, Jeff. He did not. Excuse me, Kelly, I'm not addressing you. What
We'll
he
go back
did
on the
say
tapes.
is it needs to be revived, okay? It's not to redo the master plan, okay? So he's gonna set everything in place, sit down with this council, and we're gonna put something in place, okay?
It's tough to move forward as...
Well, Jeff, you know what?
As Mr. Williams pointed out, we need positive change. Things are going in the wrong direction. And when things are brought up in terms of how can we start to make positive change, this is the kind of response I get. So yes, I get frustrated. I
Jeff, you know what,
apologize
Jeff?
for that.
Jeff,
But it's
come on,
coming
Jeff.
from a place of trying to make
Let's not play the
something...
game, Jeff. Let's not play the game.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Thank you. All right, Mr.
Mayor, I have a question. I have a question to ask, and I am a member of council.
I'll give you the floor. I told you when this comes, you can have the floor. Go ahead.
Where's our solicitor?
He is out. He had absent. His daughter's getting married tomorrow, so he had actually be excused today.
So I'm just hearing this myself. That's something that should be addressed to me.
No, he
before the
doesn't.
meeting as well.
He's never
He's missed
here.
other meeting. You've never brought it up.
Mayor, this is a regular meeting,
Okay.
so I asked that
Okay.
question and I just want
And I'll give you the
a
answer.
quick response.
I give you
Yes,
the
sir.
answer.
The other thing is we have people that are coming to address quality of life issues. I'm not here, politics is aside, we are human beings at the end of the day, and when people want to address issues before the council and the governing body, they're entitled to.
And they are.
Until they're finished, we have to listen.
No, I'm not going to let it drag on. Okay?
Mayor,
This is not a circus.
It's not just him,
This is not
there
a
was other
circus.
people that
No,
came forth.
this is not a circus, and I addressed the matter.
If I have
Next.
the floor, Mayor,
Go
let me
ahead.
have the floor.
I'll give it to
Then
you,
you
but
can
go ahead.
respond
But I'm
afterwards.
answering. Go
I'm not
ahead.
here to argue with you. The public is entitled to pose any questions that they want to because it's their God-given right to do so. Once they're finished, depending on who they're addressing, then it's up to us to give a response, whether it's yourself or whether it's a member of council. I don't see it being a problem, especially if it's a quality of life issue, which residents are coming forth to vent their frustrations to talk about.
And we are
I don't understand, Mr. Goodwin, are you running for public office?
Excuse me, that's
I
not
asked the
point.
question.
That's not-
Are you
You're
running
out of
for
line.
public
You
office?
are out of line. No, Mr. Goodwin, I'm not.
I am
allowing
not
this
running for any office.
Excuse me.
I'm not doing
Now-
anything political at all.
At this point
Therefore,
here, excuse me.
Mr. Mayor, this needs to stop. And you need to cut it off right
Yes,
now.
thank you,
Cut it off.
thank you.
From anybody. Don't
Exactly.
care who it
Thank
is.
you.
This is crazy.
At this point here, I'm gonna call Mr.
Mayor,
Finger.
I'm not- I am
You're
not-
you're out of line, that's
Mr.
it.
Cook, you're out of line. Anybody else? Mr. Mayor, you're in charge. Take over this
Thank you.
meeting.
At this point now, I am gonna give it to,
There's a gentleman back there.
go ahead, guys,
Like
speak up,
to,
sir. Mr. Bosman, go ahead.
44 Ferry Avenue. I just want to say thank you to the police department, they're doing a great job.
Thank you,
Thank you.
thank you. At this point, I would like to have Mr. A. Figueroa, please come up.
Thank you, Mayor. As you said, I have a couple of awards for some of the things that the members of the police department have done here at Woodlynne. And this is just one of the many things that they do. So Mayor, Council, and residents, what I'd like to do is I'd like to call up Officer Acevedo and Officer Feliciano. Lieutenant, you want to come up too? And the award reads as follows. On June 14, 2019, at approximately 8:22 p.m., Officer Acevedo was on patrol at Crosland and Mount Ephraim Avenue when he observed a two-door black Pontiac with dark tint on all the windows and windshield. While following the vehicle, he noticed that the rear license plate on the vehicle was expired. Officer Acevedo stopped the vehicle as Detective Feliciano arrived as backup. At the scene, the driver identified himself as Kabir Kamegna, as he provided his New Jersey identification card to Officer Acevedo. He also noticed that the physical characteristics of the driver did not fit the characteristics listed in the identification card. When asked for the vehicle documents, he failed to provide them. He stated that the reason for not having the documents was that he recently purchased the vehicle. As Officer Acevedo was advising the suspect that the vehicle would be towed, Detective Feliciano scanned the inside of the vehicle for ownership and insurance documents. In plain view in the vehicle console, Detective Feliciano saw a quantity of U.S. currency with some loose, live ammunition. Detective Feliciano observed a black jacket in the back seat of the vehicle that belonged to the suspect. The detective pulled out the jacket and patted the outside. To him, it felt unusually heavy. He reached into the pocket of the jacket and retrieved a .25 caliber handgun with a magazine containing 5 rounds of ammunition. The suspect was placed under arrest and taken to the police headquarters for processing. During the processing, it was learned that Kabir Kamigno, his real name is Jabir Kamigno, for he was using a false name that belonged to his brother. A further search revealed that Mr. Kamigno was concealing in his anal cavity 30 small plastic bags containing a white powdery substance, suspected of being a controlled dangerous substance. The money that was found in the vehicle console totaled $1,036. It was turned into the county treasurer's office. The CDS, ammunition, and handgun were all turned in as evidence. Mr. Kamigno was charged with numerous weapons, drug charges, and traffic violations. These officers should be commended for their immediate response, dedication to duty, and the preservation of their lives. So for that, I commend them, and hopefully you all feel the same way about these officers. You want to say anything?
I just want to say thank you to the community. You know, it's not just about us. We do need you guys involved as well. So you guys are first responders as well. When something happens, please be on the lookout. Call 911. That way we can do our jobs. Thank you.
As Officer Acevedo indicated, we do need the help of the community. If you have information you want to provide it to us, please do so. What often happens is situations will occur and we'll investigate, but since we don't have a victim, because people don't want to come forward, and I can understand why. So we can't arrest that individual. We have to let them go. So again, I just put it out to you that anything that you can help us with, we appreciate it. And we want to work with you. All right? So again, thank you very much and good evening to all.
I wanted to just finish up by saying that, you know, I commend the Lieutenant Robinson. Since this promotion, he didn't just take the step of laying back. He moved aggressive and moved forward quickly as a leader. He is now on the executive level, moving on as the lieutenant. Him, along with his fellow officer and Mr. Figueroa, conducted and pursued an operation of an operation for a safety checkpoint, and it was a very successful safety check. That we have over 35 vehicles within that time, correct?
Correct.
So again, you're going to see more positive stuff, but it takes to the point where you have to have the chief law enforcement to be in that executive position to execute those jobs, those safety, those things that is needed to run the police department. Understanding, Ed Figueroa was a former chief of police. He is still a civilian, so there are things that he's capable of doing and what he cannot do. It is with Robinson, the lieutenant. When he was a sergeant, he was the sergeant. Now he moved into an executive level as a lieutenant. And we commend you for your leadership, and we thank you for what you're doing. And you're taking this right along and moving with safety of the people in this community. So I thank you, and you need to be recommended for that. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, this is Bill Williams again. I do have a question that I want to ask. Because I'm the type of resident that if I see something, I'm going to tell. I don't care who it is. But the problem I do have is that now I have to go through Camden, and then when I call down that 911 number, they ask me a whole bunch of questions, and by the time they get the message out to the police, the people that are on spot are gone already. What happened to our own radio operators here within the borough?
Well, it's
And
always,
can we get them, if we don't have one, can we get one?
no, it's always been through the county communication, but we do have the 911, again, Mr. Figueroa, you want to explain a little bit of detail on that, please?
We've always been with county communications. County communications, dispatches, about, I believe, 20 towns here.
Yeah, I understand the process.
Include, you know, hospital, and sheriff's department. And what happens is, when you call the police department, when you call communications, and communications operator receives that phone call, there is a sheet that they look at, and then they ask you certain information so they can pass on the correct information to that officer. Yes, it does take time, and I agree with that, but it also provides the officer with the information that he needs so that he can conduct a further investigation, or if he has to go somewhere else.
Okay, now, my question with that, I understand the roll calls and all that, the radio logs and all that good stuff. Now, when that information comes through, it comes up to our township, our borough. Do it goes out to anywhere else? So they can be on the same lookout for the same people that's looking out?
On our band, we had Collingswood, Hattie Township, Hattie Heights, and Camden.
Okay.
So if anything happens, when that information is dispatched, let's say there's a huge fight in Woodlynne, but we only have 2 officers working during the shift. So if it's a large fight, normally what happens, Collingswood and the other surrounding police departments that hear that on the radio will respond. Likewise, if something in Collingswood happens, we'll respond also, so that we provide safety. It's a safety net for the officers that are working in different towns, because not all towns have enough officers to handle the problems that they have. All right?
Thank you. And I want to say on that note there was a shooting that took place here for somebody that was from a different town and was staying in Woodlynne, and there was a shooting. They saw the person, Officer Feliciano, identified the vehicle, called it in, and by working through the communication with the radios around the town, that vehicle took off to Camden, and Camden did get the car and expedited. There was 3 people, and they took 2 people in, correct? Four. So it's good because it does work with communication. Once you're giving that out, it does go within the radio band within the surrounding area. Okay.
But let me also add to that. when it involves juveniles, it does not involve juveniles. It's not like handling an adult. Okay? So, you know, when we had to have the prosecutor's office come in and help us with that. So we had those individuals, and basically the prosecutor's office took that over. So in reality, they weren't really arrested. Some of them already had warrants, so that they were placed in locations throughout the state, because I think one of the individuals lived in the Trenton area. So yeah, juveniles, it's just completely different and handled differently. And unfortunately, a lot of times what you do is you turn them back over to the parents. The parents get them, and they're back out again on the street.
And there are times that if you would like to use the non-emergencies, the 962-9 Dowson number, they will still go through a central dispatch, they will still call, let them know it's for Woodland, and you can remain anonymous if you want, but that's probably the number you're retaining, the 962-9 Dowson. But we've always been with the county dispatch. But it is the 962-9 Dowson instead of dialing 911. Okay? Yes.
Another question. Yes, I should. Now, I'm hearing that there's a lot of activity that's going on in the borough with thefts and things like that. Do we have photos of these people that's doing that? Because I'm quite sure I see a lot of cameras around homes. I have cameras around mine. And if these people are not juvenile, is there any way, or is it legal to put a photograph out so that residents who may see them in the neighborhood cannot call the police and let them know that, hey, the people that we're looking for is out here?
Good idea. Good idea. I will sit down with the lieutenant and discuss what. Okay, Lieutenant.
Yeah, so we're basically working on our Facebook, and we want to put all these photos, door cams, everything, crimes that's happening in town on our Facebook.
Probably posting it up on the bulletin board, get a designated bulletin board and put something there that you can look for.
I would like to thank Officer Feliciano, the way he's handling kids, juveniles that live in town, and he will catch them doing something or seeing them trying to follow bad people, and he will call them, talk to them, and sometimes he will go to their father or their mother and discuss it with them. And hopefully that they won't be following those bad people that comes in the town. So I really appreciate that. Thank you, sir.
Okay, at this point, motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Motion by... All in favor?